Hey guys, welcome back. It's Joseph. Quick and simple gospel. Yeshua, Jesus, came to this earth, lived a perfect 33 years, was crucified on a cross for our sins, buried in a tomb for 3 days, and rose from the grave on the third day. We are saved through faith in Christ alone and by no other name. Amen. So good evening, guys. Hope you're all doing well today. Today we're going to talk about Squid Game 3. And we're going to talk about all 3 seasons today. And should be a good show. Let me see how we're looking here on the screen. Hey, Patrick, much love. Hope you're doing well. All right, we look good here on the screen. Hey, Jesse's girl, how you doing? For some reason, the screen looks a little smaller today. Not sure why, but oh well. Always something with the YouTube. But anyways, guys, huge confirmation. Long story short, I don't really care about spoiling the show for you guys. You shouldn't really watch the show anyways unless you're decoding it or looking for symbolism. I'll just say this: I'm glad it's over. After decoding this show since 2021, I'm glad it's over. It's not a good show. Very violent. Just not good. But anyways, I felt that it was my duty to continue decoding it, since I'm one of the only few people in the world who have put this puzzle together with Squid Game. All credit to God. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. Long story short, I've been connecting this show to the Antichrist, Barack Obama, ever since the show came out in 2021. And the biggest number I talk about in connection to Obama is the number 222. Guess who won the final season of Squid Game? Player number 222. All right, and that's why I'm doing the video. I wasn't even going to do any more videos on Squid Game, but I said, well, let me go ahead and watch it, the final season, and see if there's any connections to the 222. And what do you know? Player number 222 won. So what you're about to see should blow your mind. And we'll go ahead and get started here. But yeah, guys, player number 222 won. And it wasn't exactly player number 222. Long story short, in the show, player number 222 is pregnant and has a baby in season 3. And the original player 222 dies, but they allow the baby to continue on in the game. And the baby of player number 222, they give this baby the same number. So the mother of 222 dies, and then the baby becomes player number 222, and it winds up winning the game. Number 222 of all the numbers. I mean, that right there should blow your mind. If you've been with the channel for any length of time, and you know that I've been connecting this show to Obama since 2021, and the biggest number I talk about with Obama is the number 222, I mean, it should absolutely blow your mind. But give me 1 second here, and we'll go ahead and get started. Hope you guys are having a great day. Guys, do me a favor when you come in, please hit the like button. Very much appreciated. Helps out the algorithm. Helps more people find the video. And please hit the share button. That way we can get this out to more people. All right. Yeah, Brandon, there's actually an episode in season 3. Yeah, it's episode 4. It's called 222. Yep. And remember when Squid Game Season 2 came out, how big of a deal I made about the player number 222. I'm going to show you why in a second. All right? Here we go. All right, guys, just give me a second to get all set up here, and then we'll go ahead and get started. So I'm hoping some people will, tonight go on YouTube and type in Squid Game recap, and maybe they will stumble across this video. And At first, they're probably going to be like, what the heck is this guy talking about? This guy's crazy. But if they stick around and watch the whole thing, they'll see I'm not crazy at all. All right, guys, so in Squid Game Season 3, June Hee's baby, also known as Player 222, wins the game. Can you believe it? Player 222 wins the game after Gi-hun sacrifices himself. Spoiler alert, sorry. The final round, Sky Squid Game, came down to a confrontation between Gi-hun and Myung-gi. On the last tower, Gi-hun chose to die, ensuring the baby's survival and victory. All right? Now, we're also going to talk about player number 456, which is Seung Gi-hun, and all his connections to Obama. All right? So, here we go. All right, guys, we're going to break this down all by the numbers using gematria, which is simply letters as numerals. And once you learn the simple code of coding letters into numbers, you can see right through the scripted coded news every day. Also scripted and coded shows and movies. So, if you don't think Squid Game is using gematria, well, you're out of your mind. The whole show is about basically a secret society of rich people who pay to watch poor people kill each other. Okay? They're called the VIPs. All right? And I made a big deal in Season 2. All right, this is a huge confirmation video, guys, because you can go back and watch my video from December when I covered Squid Game Season 2. I made a big deal out of the fact that player number 222 was like this new key player in the game, right? And I pointed out back then that player number 222, all right, the name of player number 222 is Kim Jun-hee. Look at the gematria of Kim Jun-hee. Guys, it is a perfect match to Squid Game in every cipher across the board, and a perfect match to Freemason. You know how in the show they got the black and white checkerboard 4, right? Also, in gematria, order out of chaos equals 222. That's the Freemason motto, okay? So you're telling me the baby of player number 222, who becomes the new player 222, wins the Squid Game. Okay? And the mom's name is Kim Jun-hee, which is a perfect match to Squid Game. Guys, this is the final season of Squid Game. And you're telling me the final winner, when the show is all wrapped up, is player number 222? I mean, this is unbelievable. Everybody should hit the like button already. Because the original player 222, who gave birth to the new player 222, the baby, perfect match to Squid Game. How do you explain that? This is the last season of Squid Game. Kim Jun-hee is a perfect match to Squid Game. It's mathematically impossible to be a coincidence, okay? It's undeniable. So yeah, Kim Jun-hee, 96, 42, 147, 48, like Squid Game and Freemason. And I told you how important the 222 was connected to Obama when Season 2 came out, and I told you the big key player is player number 222, and Squid Game Season 2 came out December 26th. That was 222 days before Obama's birthday. The Antichrist Barack Obama equals 222. Antichrist system, 222. The list goes on. We're going to go through the whole list here. Okay? So that's where we were introduced to this player 222. It was 222 days before Obama's birthday. Hold on, do I have my slides out of order here? Okay, here, I'll go back, it's fine. So Obama tested positive for COVID 222 days from his birthday in the year 2022, which is 222. In gematria, Wuhan coronavirus 222, event 201, 222, that's the pandemic simulation. And we're going to talk about the number 201 also. World Economic Forum 222, the Beast of Revelation, Antichrist system, Beast, they're all 222. COVID vaccines, vaccine cards, mandatory vaccination, as above, so below, order out of chaos, they're all 222. COVID was declared a pandemic 222 months after 9/11. So the two biggest things, in the last, 25 years are separated by 222 months and 0 days. And again, if you're just coming in, player 222 just won the final season of Squid Game. And the new player 222 is the baby, which is the baby of Kim Jun-hee, which is a perfect match to Squid Game and Freemason. And then season 2, where we're introduced to this player number 222, came out 222 days before Obama's birthday. Obama tested positive for COVID 222 days from his birthday, which was declared a pandemic 222 months from 9/11. They called it Wuhan coronavirus 222. COVID was declared a national emergency 222 days from Obama's birthday. Then we got this. U.S. reports cases of new COVID variant MB181 behind surge in China. We got that news in the U.S. on May 23rd, the day leaving 222 days left in the year. And speaking of 181, Barack Hussein Obama II, 181, Barack Obama, 181. Don't forget the B system is also 181. And we talked about Iran firing 181 missiles at Israel. World War III was 181. The whole list, right? So this is NB 181. Well, do you remember when Squid Game Season 2 came out? And I pointed out how they had a vote? The first vote of the season? Yeah, President Xi Jinping is also 222. That's a good one, Bones. Remember it came from China? Let me show you that one. Here. Xi Jinping. Right? XIJINPING. Remember they said it came from China? There you go. President Xi Jinping. 222. Thank you, Bones. So remember they had the vote in Season 2. I pointed out how it was tied 181 to 181, like Barack Obama and Barack Hussein Obama II, right? Well, what happened just days after that? Remember, Squid Game is out of South Korea. Remember, there was just days after Squid Game Season 2 came out, there was a South Korea plane carrying 181 people that, exploded. South Korea plane equals 181, right? This is in South Korea, right after I pointed out the connection to the 181. And why am I bringing this up? Because the NB 181, right? We got that news in the U.S. with 222 days left in the year. And player 222 just won the Squid Game. Now back to the 222s. Remember when the New York City Mayor, Eric Adams, tested positive for COVID 222 days from his birthday? And New York is 222. That's where Event 201 was held. Remember, Event 201 equals 222. That was held on 10/18, which we're also going to talk about in connection to Squid Game, the 10/18. See, Event 201, 222. Remember when the first U.S. case of COVID was 222 days from Donald Trump's birthday, the father of the vaccine? When Donald John Trump Sr., 222, Trump 222, Trump Organization 222. Remember Trump just won the election 222 days from his birthday? Remember the 222-page lawsuit where Trump took the stand 222 days before Trump's birthday? You think I could put all this together in like a couple hours? No. I put this together over the last couple years. So what are the odds? I've been talking, I'm the guy, right? All credit to God. But I'm the guy out of the whole Gematria community. I'm pretty much the only guy that's decoded every season, right? And connected it to the number 222 and, you know, all this stuff. And now you're telling me player 222 wins? You know, again, all credit to God, but this is impossible to be a coincidence. Yeah, there was a 222-page lawsuit against the Trump organization where Trump took the stand 222 days from his birthday. Remember on the anniversary of COVID being declared a pandemic, March 11th, 2025, when Trump bought a Tesla to help the stock price of Tesla, and the stock price that day opened at $222 a share, right here. There's another one. Or you remember when Trump's sister died 222 days after her birthday? Wonder if that was a coincidence. How about when Ivana Trump died 222 days from her birthday? Are they both a coincidence that Ivana Trump and Trump's sister would both die 222 days from their birthdays? And Ivana equals 222 like Trump is 222. So not only is the mother of player 222 connected to Squid Game with Gematria, remember the baby number 222 wins the game, because if you're just getting in, player number 222, Kim Jun-hee, she has a baby. She dies in the show in season 3, but they allow the baby to continue on, and the baby winds up winning. All right? And I pointed out that Kim Jun-hee is a perfect match to Squid Game. Well, look at the father. It says, yes, Myung-gi is indeed the father of the baby who becomes player 222 in Squid Game. His ex-girlfriend Jun-hee is player 222 and dies during the games, leaving the baby in Gi-hun's care. Well, look at his name. Myung-gi equals Squid Game. Drop the mic, guys. This is the father of 222. This is the mother of 222. They both have the connection. They got the 96 and the 42 like Squid Game. What are the odds, man? We'll get back to this later. Now, if you're new here and you're like, man, this guy's crazy, right? There's no way Squid Game is connected to Gematria. Well, the show is all about player number 456. 456 players competing for 45.6 billion Korean won. And player number 456, his name is Seung Gi-hun. Well, what if I told you, and this is in Jewish Gematria, I know it's hard to see, but now you can see it right there, the cipher. What if I told you player number 456, his name is Seung Gi-hun, which equals 456? What are the odds? Yeah, this guy's crazy, right? I know you're just kidding, Shay. But yeah, come on, you think, you telling me Squid Game isn't using Gematria when player number 222, her name's a perfect match to Squid Game, and player number 456, his name Seung Gi-hun equals 456? But wait, there's more. In the show, they call him by his name, Gi-hun. Guess what Gi-hun equals? 456. Yeah. So, his full name, Seung Gi-hun, 456, and what they call him during the whole show, Gi-hun, is also 456. I wonder if it's a coincidence. Now, do you remember this story that came out right before Season 2 came out? This was December 14th, 2024. Who is Han Duck-soo, South Korea's acting president after Yoon impeachment? Okay, so right before Season 2, they got this guy as their acting president, Han Duck-soo. Look at his name, guys. This is South Korea, where Squid Game is out of, okay? Han Duck-soo equals 456 in the same cipher as Seung Gi-hun, who's player 456. So if you take the birthday, or sorry, if you take when Squid Game Season 1 came out, September 17th, 2021. And if you go back 456 days, you land on June 18th, which is the birthday of Han Duck-Soo, which equals 456. And we got this news on December 14th. Well, player number 456 has a fictional birthday in the show. It's October 31st. What if I told you we got this news about Han Duck-Soo, which equals 456? It was in the news 45 weeks and 6 days before 456's birthday. How about that? And if you think that's a coincidence, Squid Game Season 1 came out September 17th, 2021. It came out 45 weeks and 6 days after player number 456's birthday. Are you kidding me? And how does this connect to Obama? President Barack Hussein Obama equals 456. Okay? Again, I've been connecting Squid Game to Obama from day one, and my biggest number with Obama is the number 222. Player 222 just won the final season of Squid Game. What a confirmation. And guess what? Squid Game Season 1 came out 45 weeks and 6 days before Obama's birthday. Are you kidding me? Guys, this is just mathematically impossible. Squid Game Season 1 came out 45 weeks, 6 days after player 456's birthday, and it came out 45 weeks and 6 days before Obama's birthday, when President Barack Hussein Obama is 456. Come on now. Let's see, do I have it in here? Yeah, there it is. Don't forget, Barack H. Obama is also 456. Now, speaking of 456, remember when Obama announced he was running for president? That was February 10th, 2007. Obama was 45 years and 6 months old, 456, when he announced he was running for president. But more specifically, when Obama announced he was running for president, he was 45 years, 6 months, and 6 days old. Strong's 4566 is Satan. And where's my list here? Hold on. Don't forget all the other connections between Obama and Satan, right? You got Luke 10:18, which we're about to talk about soon. I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Barack means lightning, Bama the heights. Obama's slogan, yes we can. You listen to it backwards, you'll hear thank you Satan. Obama equals dragon. Obama born on the 216th day of the year. 6 times 6 times 6 is 216. Obama's birthday, the day leaving 149 days left in the year. Antichrist equals 149. By the way, player 149 was big in this show. If you add up the 4 base ciphers of Barack Hussein Obama, it equals 666. Don't forget, Obama was with Eminem 103 days after Eminem released the song Antichrist. Eminem equals 103, Obama equals 103. And then many other connections. But yeah, let's continue on. So yeah, President Barack Hussein Obama. Remember, President Barack Hussein Obama equals 456. This show is all about 456 players competing for 45.6 billion Korean won. And the show came out 45 weeks and 6 days before Obama's birthday. And also, Barack H. Obama is 456. But wait, there's more. Just in case you thought, there wasn't any way we could have more connections to the 456. Well, hold on to your hat. What if I told you that the actor who plays player number 456 is Lee Jung-jae? This is the guy who plays number 456. And his birthday is December 15th. And remember, Seung Gi-hun, player 456, has a fictional birthday of October 31st, 1974. That means that the fictional birthday of player 456 is 45 weeks and 6 days after the actor's birthday who plays him. Here, let me go ahead and block this guy real quick. Hold on. See you later, buddy. You're arguing with math. I couldn't make this up. Guys, you think I could make this up if I wanted to? I wrote the script for Season 3 where player number 222 would win the whole game, right? After decoding this for 4 years now. Right? Yeah, I'm making all this up. Okay, so on top of everything else, the fictional birthday of player 456 is 45 weeks and 6 days after the actor who plays him. That's another 456, guys. Let me go back in case you have short memory. Season 1 came out 45 weeks and 6 days after Seung Gi-hun's birthday. Player 456. And we got this story about South Korea's acting president, Han Duck-soo, 456. That was in the news 45 weeks and 6 days before 456's birthday. Like this, guys, just the fact that his name is Seung Gi-hun, which equals 456, should blow your mind. And Gi-hun is 456. Look at all this. If you go back 456 days before Season 1 came out, you land on the birthday of Han Duck-soo, 450. It's too much, man. It is too much. Don't forget when Joe Biden fell down, or when he fell off the bike. It was 456 days after he fell down the stairs. And it was on June 18th when he fell off the bike. Which again, what's June 18th? That's the birthday of Han Duck-soo. Right? And remember, Biden was the front man for Obama. Same with Trump. If you're new here, they both work for Obama. Obama's the Antichrist, which means he's running the whole thing. If you don't believe me, go watch the footage with Obama and Trump at Jimmy Carter's funeral. Because Obama and Trump are best buddies. All right? So now let's talk about the number 1018. And for the record, guys, I'm probably not going to do a whole recap on this. This is a lot of information. So if you're coming in late, you want to go back. Okay, so we got the story about Han Duck-soo. That was in the news. 10 months and 18 days before the birthday of player 456. 1018. Like Luke 10:18. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Barak means lightning, Bama the heights. Well, what if I told you that Season 1 came out 10 months and 18 days after the birthday of player 456? There's another 1018. Well, what if I told you Squid Game Season 1 came out 10 months and 18 days before Obama's birthday? Isn't that interesting? Remember when the U.S. bombed Iran 10 months and 18 days from Obama's birthday? Or when the Thunder, which goes with lightning, how they just won 10 months and 18 days from Obama's birthday with a total of 84 wins, including the playoffs, when Obama equals 84, born on 8/4. Remember when Brittany Griner, with the 10/18 birthday, was found guilty and sentenced on Obama's birthday? And Griner missed 474 days of basketball. Why does that matter? Because Obama's the clone of Akhenaten, and Akhenaten equals 474, like Barack Obama 474, fallen angel 474. Akhenaten was the 10th ruler of the 18th dynasty. Remember when Brittany Griner came home and got the standing ovation at 10:18 p.m.? Remember Little Nas X with the Satan shoes, which equals Antichrist, where Obama was represented in that video, J. Christ, where he's wearing the 1018 Satan shoes? That sold for $1,018 a pair, 666 pairs. And, yeah. Remember, he posted that video at 19.2 million subs, 192, like Obama 192, Great Tribulation 192, Leave the World Behind 192, which ends in the Commodus Bunker. And what are they doing in the Commodus Bunker in Obama's movie? They're finishing the last episode of Friends. Guess what the last episode of Friends is? It's Season 10, Episode 18. Yep. And the director of Leave the World Behind, his birthday and Obama's birthday are separated by 10 months and 18 days. And event 201 was held on 10/18. We're going to talk more about the 201 later. But yeah, Squid Game came out 10 months, 18 days before Obama's birthday. And it came out 10 months, 18 days after the birthday of player 456. So this story of Han Duck-soo, it was in the news 4 months and 11 days from Obama's birthday. Squid Game equals 411. It was also in the news 133 days from Obama's birthday. South Korea 133, President 133. The actor who plays player number 456 and Han Duck-soo, their birthdays are separated by 1,226 weeks. And that's interesting because Squid Game Season 2 came out on 12/26. Little fun fact there. And on top of everything else with Han Duck-soo, look at that. Han Duck-soo equals 666. Now, this isn't real important, but in Season 2, they're looking for the recruiter, and they locate him in Jungak Station, which is 163, like Barack Hussein Obama 163. And also, this isn't that important, but I noticed when watching Season 3 that they have another vote to end the game. And these are the 3 players who voted in order. You had player number 149, then number 163, then number 192. They all voted in order. And why does that matter? Well, the 149, Antichrist equals 149, and Obama's birthday is the day leaving 149 days left in the year. The 163 matters because Barack Hussein Obama is 163. And the 192 matters because Obama equals 192. Great Tribulation 192, Leave the World Behind 192. His movie ends in the communist bunker, who died in the year 192. But anyways, that's not that important. Back to Han Duck-soo. That was in the news 44 days after player 456's birthday. And remember, player 456, sorry, I had a brain fart. My mind went somewhere else. You know why? You remember when there was a story of Iran bombing the U.S. base, and I connected that to Obama? There was another story that came out the other day, and let me see. Here, I'll just show you real quick. Remind me to come back to the Barack Megan. I haven't showed you guys this yet, but I saw that 44 and it reminded me of something that I need to show you. Give me a second. This won't take long. Here you go. Long story short, Iran fires missiles toward U.S. bases in Qatar and Iraq. Remember, that was 42 days from Obama's birthday. Iran 42, War 42, World War 42 is on 6/23. Barack Hussein Obama 6/23. It was 323 days from Obama's birthday. Barack Hussein Obama 3/23. Let me just fast forward here. Remember, it was on day number 174 of the year, U.S. military base 174, like New World Order, a number of the beast 174, and it was the Al Udeid Air Base, which is 666, the number of the beast. Here you go. How's this for a confirmation? I told you that whole thing was connected to Obama, right? Look what came out yesterday. Joint Chiefs Chair spotlights 44 heroes who defended U.S. base from Iran missile attack. This is days after I already connected it to Obama. Obama number 44, right? Remember when the U.S. launched the strikes on Iran 44 days from Obama's birthday? Either way you look at it. And military 44, Israel 44 killed, B-2 bomber, they're all 44. Or you remember when Israel launched the strike on Iran 44 weeks from Obama's birthday and 44 weeks from Khomeini's birthday. Or you remember when Iran launched a missile attack on Israel 44 weeks before Obama's birthday. Right? I'm sure all these 44s are a coincidence. And that's the number we're about to talk about, the 44. But yeah, look at that confirmation. 44 heroes. I'm sure it's all a coincidence every single day. So back to the 44s. Who is Han Duck-soo, South Korea's acting president after Yoon impeachment? By the way, the word impeached equals 44. But that was in the news 44 days from the birthday of player number 456. Okay. Well, season 1 of Squid Game came out 44 days before the birthday of player 456. And what if I told you Squid Game Season 1 came out 44 days after Obama's birthday? Obama number 44. How about that? And, for the record, Season 2 came out 44 weeks before player 456's birthday. This guy is a big part of the show. Hwang Junho, his name's a perfect match to Antichrist in 3 out of the 4 base ciphers. And Season 2 came out 144 days after Obama's birthday. Antichrist Barack Obama 144. Remember this story of the giant squid? This came out around when Season 1 Squid Game came out. A giant squid washed ashore where? In Obama, Japan. Wow, look at that. A giant squid in Obama, Japan. Well, look at that. Giant squid is a perfect match to Antichrist. We're talking about Squid Game. And remember, the giant squid washed ashore April 20th, 2022. That was 216 days after Squid Game came out. And Obama was born on the 216th day of the year. 6 times 6 times 6. 216. For the record, here. And you know what? Now that we skipped them 44s, I need to remember to go back to Barack Megan. 1 second. Barack. Oh. And I'll go ahead and show you why. Remember, we just had the story. Israel activated the Barack Megan aerial defenses. Barack means lightning, right? And I remember I showed you that Barack Megan was 197, like the B system 197, the Antichrist 197. Well, check this out. Squid Game Season 1 came out September 17th, 2021. The last season just came out today, separated by exactly 197 weeks and 0 days. 197. The Antichrist 197. I mean, how does all this stuff fit together so perfectly? How does player number 222 win after everything I've been talking about all these years with Squid Game and Obama? Strong's 216 Lightning. I learned something new yesterday. Thank you to the Branch who pointed this out in his video. You guys got to subscribe to him. But yeah, obviously Strong's 1300 is Barack, which means lightning, but also Strong's 216 can refer to lightning. See? 216, lightning. And not only is Obama born on the 216th day of the year, but 6 times 6 times 6 is 216. That giant squid, which washed ashore in Obama, Japan, it was 216 days after Squid Game. And let me go ahead and find something else for you here. Barack, which again means lightning, Barack equals 216. Just show you that real quick. For the record, yeah, Barack equals 216. Pretty neat, right? So yeah, that's the giant squid. Remember, giant squid is a perfect match to Antichrist in 3 out of the 4 base ciphers. And then Giant Squid is also 726, like Antichrist, like President Obama, like Fallen Angel Obama, like the King of Babylon, like his slogan, Yes We Can, Affordable Care Act, Revelation, they're all 726. Nope, Thanos is gone for the for the record. And remember, Squid Game made history with 14 Emmy nominations, and Obama equals 14. Look down here. Squid Game and Barack Obama up for Emmys. Huh, what an interesting headline. Did I write that headline? I'm sure, right? Yeah, I made this up, and I made up player number 222 winning and all the other connections. All the 450, Seungi Hun equals 456. I made that up, and all the 1018. We haven't even talked about the 201 connection yet. And I was just pointing out that the best friend of player number 222 is player 149. Antichrist equals 149. Remember Obama's birthday, the day leaving 149 days left in the year. And I already talked about this. Squid Game Season 2 came out 222 days before Obama's birthday. And we already talked about this. Remember the baby, if you're just now coming in, Kim Jong-hee dies, but she's pregnant, and her baby takes on her number, player number 222. They let the baby continue the game, and the baby wins. And I pointed out that the mom's name, Kim Jong-hee, is a perfect match to Squid Game and Freemason. And we already talked about Obama testing positive 222 days from his birthday. Okay, so let's talk about the number 201, like Event 201, right? And by the way, the host of the game, right, notice, he's not just player number 1. He's 2 zeros and a 1, right? They could have just made him player 1. They could have made him player 01, but nope, he's 001. 201. Now, way back when in Squid Game Season 1, remember I told you guys that after the first game, 201 players successfully completed the first game? And why did that matter? Because the son of perdition, Barack Hussein Obama, equals 201, that old serpent, 201, King of Babylon, Barack Obama, 201. And what happened in Season 2? In Season 2, in the first game, 91 were killed. In the second game, 110 were killed. So after the first 2 games, 201 players were killed, bringing the total prize money to 20.1 billion won. Right? 201 players eliminated after the first 2 games, and in Season 1, there were 201 players who successfully completed the first game. Right? And you remember when they just had the newest pandemic simulation called Preparing for Disease X, which was held 201 days before Obama's birthday? And remember, Event 201 was held on 10/18, like Luke 10/18. And if you think that's a coincidence, right, that Preparing for Disease X was 201 days from Obama's birthday, what if I told you Preparing for Disease X was held exactly 201 weeks after COVID was declared a pandemic? Drop the mic. Like Event 201, like William Henry Gates 201, the Pope at the time, Jorge Mario Bergoglio 201, who lived in suite number 201, at the Doma Sancte Marte 201, Ignatius of Loyola 201, the founder of the Jesuit order, which equals 201, that old serpent 201. You ever notice the Vatican shaped like a serpent? Don't forget the Georgia Guidestones went down 201 days from the Pope's birthday. And don't forget, Pope Francis died 201 days from the death anniversary of St. Francis of Assisi, who we got his name from. So Squid Game, guys, has the 44 connection, the 456, the 1018, the 222, the 201. It's got it all. I mean, every number we talk about in connection to Obama is in this show. Here's the director of Squid Game. What do you see behind him there? Oh, look at that, the number 201. And remember, Squid Game's a perfect match to Freemason. Notice the black and white checkerboard floor, right? And I think this is about where we started. Squid Game, perfect match to Freemason. And here we are. let me double check these tabs. Make sure there's nothing else that I'm missing. We talked about all this up here. But yeah, let me quickly just, I definitely recommend, if you're coming in late, that you go back and rewatch the whole thing. But I'll just quickly go through all the photos, but you guys have to go back and rewatch the whole thing, okay? So long story short, okay, I've been talking about the connection between Squid Game and Obama ever since the show came out in 2021, right? And the biggest number I talk about in connection to Obama is the number 222. And you're telling me in the final season of Squid Game, player number 222 wins? I mean, is that like, because remember, there's 456 players. So what are the odds? 1 in 456 that it would be player 222? I mean, come on, guys. You know my whole channel is about that number. I mean, am I not the guy that's been covering Squid Game every season? It's pretty undeniable stuff. I mean, I got to add this to the list of 222s. I mean, guys, don't forget Squid Game is like the biggest show in the world, okay? You're telling me as much as I've talked about the number 222 over the years that it's a coincidence? You can't tell me it's a coincidence when the mother of player two, remember, this is the one that wins the game is the baby of player 222. She takes on the number. It's baby 222. All right? So if you're coming in, let me just read this part, and then we'll quickly fly through it. In Squid Game Season 3, Jun Hee's baby, also known as player 222, wins the game after Gi-hun sacrifices himself. The final round, Sky Squid Game, came down to a confrontation between Gi-hun and Myung-gi. On the last tower, Gi-hun chose to die, ensuring the baby's survival and victory. And this is the baby of player 222, takes on the number, and the mom's name is Kim Jun-hee. I pointed this out last season, guys. Kim Jun-hee is a perfect match to Squid Game. What are the odds that I was pointing this out last season and player 222 would win? Come on. Kim Jun-hee is a perfect match to Squid Game and Freemason and every cipher across the board. And then we went into all the connections, how Squid Game Season 2, where we're introduced to this player 222, came out 222 days before Obama's birthday. And how Obama tested positive 222 days from his birthday, and how it was declared a pandemic 222 months from 9/11. And it was declared a national emergency 222 days from Obama's birthday. And we got the 181 variant in the news, with the day leaving 222 days left in the year, and Barack Obama has the 181 connection. By the way, if I didn't mention it earlier, the B system 181. And back to the 222, don't forget President Xi Jinping also had that 222, like Wuhan coronavirus, Event 201, World Economic Forum, the Beast of Revelation, Antichrist system, the Antichrist Barack Obama, mandatory vaccination, COVID vaccine, vaccine cards, as above, so below, order out of chaos. The word beast is also 222. So, anyways, we talked about the 181 from Season 2, right before you had the South Korea plane crash. Remember the show out of South Korea with the 181 people on the plane, South Korea plane 181. And you guys will just have to go back and rewatch. The first U.S. case was 222 days from Trump's birthday. Trump won the election 222 days from his birthday. Trump 222. All this stuff. Trump's sister dead 222 days from her birthday. Ivana dead 222 days from her birthday. And then this is the father of player 222, Myung-gi. His name equals Squid Game. Like, so you're telling me both the mother and the father, both their names equal Squid Game. You know, it's just undeniable. And then player number 456, his name is Seung Gi-hun, which equals 456. Gi-hun 456. The show came out 45 weeks and 6 days after 456's birthday, and it came out 45 weeks, 6 days before Obama's birthday. President Barack Hussein Obama, 456. I mean, that's pretty crazy. the fictional birthday of player 456. It's 45 weeks and 6 days after the actor's birthday who plays him. Then you got the 1018 connection. Squid Game came out 10 months, 18 days before Obama's birthday, like Luke 10:18. So anyways, guys, my point, I've been connecting this to Obama from day one. Remember, Squid Game season 1 came out 44 days after Obama's birthday. He's number 44. So got the giant squid in Obama, Japan. Yeah, if you came in late, you definitely want to go back. But what a confirmation. The 201 connections. But yep, here's my key point, guys. After all these years of me covering this show, player number 222 wins the game. That's the biggest number I talk about with Obama. And I've been connecting it to Obama from day one. And this is the mother of player number 222. The baby takes on the number 222, wins the game. And the person that gives birth to player number 222, the old player 222, Kim Jun-hee, perfect match to Squid Game. So between that, the fact that player number 222 wins, and the mother's name is Kim Jun-hee, which is a perfect match to Squid Game, and the fact that player 456, his name is Seung Gi-hun, which equals 456, and all the 45-week, 6-day date durations, it's mathematically impossible that they did not use gematria in Squid Game. So hopefully this video will reach, South Korea and everybody around the world. I've done all I can do as a decoder and a researcher and a person who exposes evil. I'm glad it's over. I did not enjoy watching the show. It's a very dark, sick show, but I felt it was my duty to cover it because someone had to. And shout out to everyone else who's ever done a decode on this. I don't mean any disrespect, and I'm not trying to glorify myself at all or pat myself on the back. All credit goes to God. But, I'm a little bit proud of myself for this one because I think I absolutely crushed it from day one. And again, it's all credit to God. But how could I have made all these connections over these years? And you guys know I'm on channel number 14, and the biggest number I talk about is 222. And you're telling me, after I showed last season that player 222 was a perfect match to Squid Game, we have the biggest twist ever where player 222 dies after she has the baby, but they allow the baby to continue on, and the baby wins the final season. And it's player number 222. Drop the mic, man. I mean, it's almost supernatural what, it's pretty supernatural. I can't even believe it, man. But I'm glad it's over. That's all I can say. It's been a long time. Guys, I've been decoding this show. Let's see. I've been decoding this show since September 17th, 2021. That's a long time to be decoding one show. So. Looks like my camera was having a... Sometimes it wants to be funny when it focuses. It wants to go in and out on certain slides. I don't know why. Technology's funny. But anyways, yeah, Todd's talking about the Georgia Guidestones. Yeah, don't forget the Georgia Guidestones were in Elbert County, Georgia, 222, right? And they were in Elberton, Georgia. Elberton equals 44, Georgia 44, Obama number 44, Fallen Angel 44. The Guidestones were 19 feet, 3 inches tall. That's the 44th prime number, and they opened 19 weeks and 3 days from Obama's birthday. And Elberton, Georgia is 153, like Antichrist Obama 153, Barry Soetoro 153, Jesuit Order 153, the Illuminati 153, The Pet Goat 153 was on page 153 of Reading Mastery 2. Heliofont 153, that's the makers of iPet Goat 2. Remember, iPet Goat 2 equals 666. And they took down iPet Goat 2. They put it back up 153 days later. And one more connection with Obama and the Guidestones, besides the fact that they went down on 7/6 on George Bush's 76th birthday member of Skull and Bones, and Barack Obama equals 76, and Obama's book of Promised Land equals 76, and there's 76s all over Obama's movie Leave the World Behind, and the Guidestones are built under the alias R.C. Christian, which equals 76, and Skull and Bones is 76, and the Guidestones opened on 322. On top of that fact, the Guidestones were 231 inches tall. They opened 231 days from Obama's birthday. The first rule of the Guidestones equals 231. Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature, 231. Then they had a pandemic simulation called Catastrophic Contagion, which equaled 231. That was held 231 weeks after Clade X. And remember, Clade X was held 666 days before COVID was declared a pandemic. And then they had a global health emergency for the monkeypox outbreak 231, and that was 231 weeks after COVID was declared a pandemic. But yeah, thank you, Todd, for bringing up Elbert County, Georgia, 222. But yeah, I don't know why my camera wanted to not zoom in. See how it's like going in and out there? I don't know. I think it's certain slides that are in white. Something with the color white. Because, look, if you just do like any other slide, it doesn't have that problem. But if there's like too much white, something with the brightness, I don't know. See how it's doing it there too? It's whatever. I'm not worried about it. The information gets out. That's all that matters. But yeah, if you guys want to support the channel, any support, very much appreciated. This Decode is like 4 years in the making. Been working on this a long time. A lot of research, a lot of work. And remember, I'm not monetized by YouTube, which means I don't make 1 penny from them. So any support, very much appreciated. And thank you so much to everyone who does support. You guys are awesome. But yep, can you believe it? After all these years, player number 222 wins the last season of Squid Game. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out today. Thanks for being part of the channel. Much love to Todd, Shay, David, ZRGTV, Mark, Visionary Vet, much love. Charlie, the King Almighty, Figure Collects, NMJ, Katie, everyone in the chat, Maria. Well, hopefully people will watch this. I mean, you put all that together, man. You got it all, man. The 222, the 456, the 1018, the 201, everything we talk about, man, in one show. #1 show in the world. I can't get over the fact that player 222 just won the last season. What a confirmation. If it's not, I know it's interesting to a lot of y'all, but to the people who don't think it's cool or interesting, well, that's on you, because my mind is blown. And yeah, I mean, wow. If I was watching this Decode, I would be impressed. And again, all credit to God. I don't deserve any credit. I wouldn't know anything if it weren't for God. But remember, before I even heard of Gematria, I was seeing the number 222 organically. And it started in August of 2019, before COVID and before I ever heard of Gematria. That's how I got into Gematria. I was researching, why am I seeing the number 222? And it led me to Gematria. So, since we're here, don't forget, there are no bad numbers. Daniel 2:22, he revealeth the deep and secret things. Acts 2:22 is the only verse with the 3 words miracles, signs, and wonders. The very first verse of the Bible, Genesis 1:1, that verse equals 222. Yeah, Troy Brewer wrote the article called 222 is after you. Strong's 222, Flame of God. The Book of Life, 222. Jesus is the truth, 222. You must be born again, 222. Key to the Universe, 222. Key to the Apocalypse, 222. And Jesus, the Lion of Judah, equals 222. But yeah, Daniel 222, he revealeth the deep and secret things. By the way, hidden codes is also 222. Where's my other list here? Few I didn't mention. Don't forget Armageddon equals 222. But yeah, I think I pretty much covered everything else in the video. But yeah, guys, that's it's the biggest number I talk about. You know, player number 222, her name's a perfect match to Squid Game. And player 222 wins. Remember, it's the baby of that person, but still, it's... Anyways, I've said enough. Hopefully you get it. If you don't, watch a bunch of my videos. Go watch my Squid Game decode from 6 months ago and see if this is a confirmation of what I've been talking about. Couldn't script it any better, man. Wow. Well, it's finally over. I don't think I'll be talking much more about Squid Game unless it comes up or I miss something. Hopefully I didn't miss anything, because I want to move on with my life. Squid Game has been a long decode, 4 years. So I'm glad it's over. I'm ready for Jesus to come. Amen. Hopefully it's very soon, man. I'm sick of this world. I'm worn out. I'm beat down. I'm tired. I've been doing this a long time, guys. 5 years. Over 10,000 videos. I'm on channel number 14. But I'm still here. All credit to God. But hopefully, yeah, I know you guys are beat down too. Yeah, I'm ready to go home, man. I've been exposing evil at the highest level possible for a long time, and it takes a toll on you. It really does, man. But someone's got to do it. And shout out to all the other great decoders in the community. The Illusion, Decoding with Cody, Gematrinator85, Dr. Savage, King Nico, and all the other decoders out there. Some I won't mention, but you know who they are. Even shout out to you guys, because, you know, even though some of y'all don't like me, y'all put out good stuff too. So I give credit where credit's due, and it's not just me. There's a lot of guys out there doing this, but, you know, shout out to all you guys. Even the ones that don't like me, like I said. You guys keep exposing evil, and hopefully it'll all be over soon. Amen. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Have a great rest of your night. Thank you for being here today. Thank you. And, oh, I forgot to mention Visionary Vet, him too. Gene Spliced. Everybody. I'm sorry if I forgot anyone. But, yeah, there's a lot of great decoders out there. But, yeah, if I missed anyone, sorry. I'm trying to think. I'm sure I am. I'll kick myself later. But, yeah. Anyways, sorry if I missed anyone. All right, guys, have a great rest of your night. Do me a favor on the way out. Please hit the like and the share. Very much appreciated. Do me a favor. Leave a comment after this video to help the algorithm. Maybe we can help it reach South Korea. Anything you could say in the comments, like good job, great video, would really help the algorithm. And try to share this on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, whatever you got. If you got a YouTube channel, give this video a shout out. Do whatever you can do to help get this info out. But anyways, guys, have a great rest of your night. Do me a favor on the way out. Please hit the like and the share. Very much appreciated. And as always, keep looking up. We are living in the biblical end of days. Jesus is coming very soon. I can't wait. And I'll see you guys on the next video. God bless.